What's going on, guys? The Barber Phil here, back again with another haircut tutorial. And in today's cut, we've got a blurry mohawk. And I'll be honest, guys, this is a client of mine that I feel like I struggle with. I feel like one side of his hair I usually can fade better than the other side, which is not necessarily uncommon, but it's definitely not a haircut that I would have taken pictures of, or especially not recorded and posted on YouTube. But in the moment, I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. Pulled out the camera, hit that record button, and it turned out a lot better than what I feel like the haircuts that I've done in him in the past have. So I'm really glad that I did it. That's one thing about YouTube that I'm glad I got into. It forces me to really concentrate on each haircut, give it everything I got, and you know, I'm sure my clients appreciate the same. So we're starting things off. This is a closed 5-guard on the Cordless Magic Clip. We're going to go in every different direction. He's got extremely thick hair and it is curly. He wanted to take quite a bit off, so we did a closed 5-guard. Now what we're going to do, I switched over to a 3-guard open. We're going to go right at the parietal ridge down with the growth of the hair, just to help soften that blend between the sides and the top. I immediately flipped it over. We scooped out and flicked up through there. Now I switch over to a 2-guard. We're going to do the same steps. We're going to close it or open it up, go down with the growth of the hair, flip it over, flick up into that section we just did. Then we'll close it up, work our way down just a little bit. And then usually in my haircuts, whenever I do a 2-guard, that's when I'll come in and hit the trimmers if I decide to do it. I wanted to go ahead and do it here just to set up the framework. We'll use the FXs to do that round down his neckline, and then in the back, the Slimline Pro LIs is what I like to tap my bald line in. We're going to do this from the top of the tip of the ear over to the top of the bottom of the C cup. Flip the Slimline over, flick that line out, and then I'll switch over to the FXs and bald this out all the way, and then we'll get into fading from there. Now we're going to get into the open section. This is the Metal Magic Clip, and we're going to do the same exact guidelines that we did with that bald section. It's the top of the ear over to the bottom of the C cup. This is about a 3/4 of an inch section. Started with the lever wide open, then we closed it up halfway, and we went about halfway up into that full open area. Closed it up all the way, dropped down a little bit, took out that bottom trimmer line. Now I switched over for some reason to my other Magic Clip, but regardless, we're using the Wahl Premium 1.5 guard. I've got it wide open. Every single stroke, guys, you're flicking out. I'm not taking this all the way up to that dark line there at the top where the weight is, from the sides to the top. I'm not taking that guard all the way up to that. I'm slowly working my way down because I have it sped up. It looks like I am going pretty far up, but I'm really flicking out. We closed it up there, worked our way down a little bit more. This is an open Babyliss half guard, which is not to be confused with the Wahl Premium half guard. That's what I'm going to put on here in just a second, and you'll see me close this up, lighten that up a little bit more, and then we'll use that half guard, really work on this bottom line that you see there, that hint of a line. Some barbers will probably even leave it right here. We don't do that. We're going to make sure that we don't leave any type of guidelines or any lines in this. Here in a sec, I'll take the guard off. We'll use an open guard, an open no guard with just using the corners of our blade. And I tried slowing this section down a little bit so you can see we're just using just the tips of the blade, the last 4 or 5 teeth on the right side and on the left side, just depending on what area we need to hit. And that's all I'm doing, guys, is just finding those little dark spots, using those last few teeth, because this is the crunch blade, so it's got a little bit of a built-in blending shear type effect, if you will. And that's all we're doing. We're opening and closing this lever, just working our way through this bottom section and making it as blurry as we can. Alright, guys, so now we're coming in with the Babyliss Fx's, and if you've been around this channel much at all, you know how much I really enjoy using these FX's. I use these on adult lineups, kids lineups, on the neck on kids, underneath the beards on grown adults, putting in designs. It doesn't matter what I use it on, guys. Every single texture hair, light hair, dark hair, coarse hair, fine hair, you name it, those trimmers have been through it and have performed perfectly for me every single time. Now what we're going to do is continue to debulk and soften up that weight connection between the top and the sides. This is an open 3 guard. We're going down with the growth of the hair. Now I'm going to switch over, do the same exact steps with the 2-guard, and I apologize guys, my camera is set up on a ring light stand, and the feet that hold that stand up are touching my mat, and so every time I move, it also moves that ring light. That's why it's shaking a little bit, so I'm going to try to work that out. I'm not trying to get anybody motion sickness from watching these videos. So that's what we're going to continue to do guys, is just flick up into that weight a little bit. And I'd say now that I cleaned it up with a 2-guard, just like I said I always do, coming back in with the FX trimmers, and I can promise you guys I am literally barely touching this line. I'm using just the corners of my blade around his ear just to make sure that we don't put any, we continue that round part there, so we just use the corners of our blade right here. Fold that ear down, clean up the hair above his ear. We can't leave that behind. And then we'll get into the bald section here. This is the Slimline Pro Li's. We're going to go from the top of the ear over to the bottom of the C-cup, immediately flick that line out, and then we will remove that bulk with the Slimline, or with the FXs. We'll do our open section here, all the way open. We'll close it up halfway, work our way down, and then we'll close it up all the way. Take out that bottom Slimline Pro Li section. So we've got the Wahl Premium 1.5 guard closed, and we're just kind of messing with that bottom line there. Just lighten it up ever so slightly. And then this is the Babyliss half guard, and like I said earlier, that's not to be confused with the Wahl Premium half guard. I do personally feel like they cut a different length. So we're going to continue to knock out that bottom line, soften it up some, and then we're going to take this guard off. We'll use an open no guard. Just keep that lever wide open and use the corners of your blade, really pinpoint those dark spots. And there's especially one right here above the ear. I'll fold that down, fold his ear down, and we'll hit that dark spot, soften it up some, and then we're going to get into his front lineup. And what I did different here than normally, you come straight in with your FXs or whatever you're going to line them up with. Well, what I did here, we did a closed 5 guard in it at the beginning of the haircut, took the top down. Now this is a 3 guard closed. We cleaned up an area there about 2 inches or so right at that overhang, and now I closed up a 2 guard, and I'm hitting exactly the area that I'm fixing to remove. You'll see me lift up his hair here, right there. I just want to know how much of that hairline we can take off without pushing him back. Close this up. We got no guard on here. We're just using the blade itself as it is, putting in a rough draft, and then we will come in with the FXs. And you guys know, when I have my FXs in my hands, these lineups are going to be sharp regardless of what the hair texture is. I didn't turn them towards the camera more. I wish I had, so that you guys could see that technique done. But you can see these corners coming in like my last video. It's all about mathematics and getting those 90-degree angles, tapping these lines in, and you know what it is. So you guys can see, we just put that rough draft in with the closed magic clip, removed a lot of that bulk so that he still keeps the same shape up top, but he doesn't have anything that's going to hinder you from seeing how sharp this lineup is. And I feel like it came in all together. It's a very sharp lineup, probably one of the better ones I've done on him. And so you guys let me know what you think. Alright guys, do me a huge favor. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and take a second, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so that you get updated every time I post a new video. Sunday, Wednesday is the schedule right now. For those that have already supported me and hit that subscribe button, I thank you so much. We're on the road to 500 right now. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if you're doing mohawks or mullets in your area. Go ahead and like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and then check out the link in the description of this video for the Tomb 45 Online Academy that Sean Cuts Hair just did. It's a really awesome review of what the Academy actually is and what you get. And until the next video, guys, I appreciate it.